The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The Revolution with Juan McCartney is sponsored by J.S. Johnson, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, White Cares Fashion Center, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, Kalina Financial Advisors Limited, and Wendy's.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Revolution here on Guardian Radio. 96.9 Paul McCartney, so good to have you with us on this Friday after the general election. Always put the people first and be honest in government. If you got a pen, I want you to write that down. I'll say it again for you. Always put the people first and be honest in government. Always put the people first and be honest in government. That was outgoing Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis's advice to the next generation of FNMs. He urged them to stay firm to the FNM's founding ideals. Always put the people first and be honest in government. Now, during the campaign, I opted to take a course of action where I didn't pull for either side. I didn't try to pull for either side. I just tried to give you the straight facts and what's going on for you to make your own determination. But the campaign's over now, and the election has been called. And I'll say this, the Bahamas needed to move on from Hubert Minnis. Let me say it again. The Bahamas needed to move on from Dr. Hubert Minnis. You allowed your prime minister to behave in a manner that no prime minister has behaved before, and you excused it all away over some cult of personality or pride. To blame is the FNM, because the Bahamas didn't necessarily need to move on from the FNM, but the Bahamas needed to move on from Dr. Hubert Minnis. And that all of his worst impulses were encouraged by the Free National Movement is an indictment on them. Minnis took a golden opportunity with a team of all-stars and squandered it behind his own personal, selfish motives. You had the opportunity, despite Dorian, despite the pandemic, to always put the people first and be honest in government. I'm not accusing anybody of corruption. I'm not accusing anybody of deception. What I'm saying, though, is that you didn't put the people first. You put your party leader first. And that is the mistake. Because contrary to what you might want to believe, the people don't necessarily love you. Rather, they love the work that you do, the commitment that you're showing to the people. And when you abandon that, then the people are done with you. The people don't necessarily love Brave Davis. The people want to move on from you, as they should. Someone says my audio is going in and out. Is it? I don't know if that may be your thing. The people needed to move on from Dr. Minnis. Some good men. Any women? Miriam, Pakeisha? Some good men and women lost their seats last night. Lost the opportunity to contribute to our parliament, and it's a crying shame. And they didn't lose it because they weren't good people or they weren't good representatives. They lost it running behind you. From the outset of this thing, you wasted all our time. They say the audio is going in and out. You wasted all our time from the outset. I don't know why. I can't tell you. I'm not the audio technician. Someone else got to check on it. From the outset of this thing, you wasted our time. You crushed the PLP at the polls. Left them with 4 seats. The narrowest, the least number of seats the PLP has ever gotten since we started having elections. You crushed them. And you took the entire first budget debate and made it about reinforcing your campaign message about corruption by the PLP. You proved none of it. We have no idea how much money you spent hiring foreign counsel to prosecute these people. The entire budget debate was focused around that. You undergirded this message of corruption in the PLP and misfeasance by the PLP and bills hidden by the PLP in order to go borrow $750 million. You said it was to pay back bills. And you kept that narrative going for a year, right? You backed up the narrative of the budget debate by the prosecutions. You brought the anti-corruption unit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force under great scrutiny as you pursued to prosecute your political opponents. And you did that for a year. Then you came and raised taxes the next year. And you said, I'd rather lose an election than lose our country. You floated all these dollar devaluation, straw man arguments out there when you should have been about the work. You spent your time building up yourself and trying to break down a PLP that was already broken. You could have shored up economic growth. You could have took some hardcore action on a lot of the things you said you would do. No Office of the Ombudsman, no Integrity Commission. Freedom of information wasn't fully enacted. No local government for New Providence. Then Dorian hits, and you waste time building up bureaucracies while you should have been having action on the ground, penetrating as deeply as possible. You let the supplies on Sweeting's Key rot. They were sleeping in tents while supplies to build modular homes just fell to decay. When the people of Abaco were telling you that armed bandits were roaming, you told them to stop exaggerating and then everything's fine. And you cannot get people to believe a reality that is alternate to that which they are living. Then the pandemic hit. Let me back up. Hurricane Dorian hit. I know my audio's dipping in and out. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know, Kermit. Is there something going on? We need to take a break, or is it fine on your end? Maybe it's the radio tower. I can't do anything about it. If you've told me, I don't know what else to do. Dorian hits, and you spend your time during Dorian, and I blame everyone for this because very few people had the impulse to correct this. One person I'll give some credit is Peter Turnquest, although it took till he was out of cabinet for him to do it. Dorian hits, and instead of focusing on the people, you made it about yourself. Preening and photo ops and meeting with different people from around the country and the world. And you weren't focused on the people. Always put the people first and be honest in government. Always put the people first and be honest in government. You made it about you, and you didn't make it about the people. This was further reinforced when the pandemic hit. And somehow, you made the pandemic about you. Your leadership. You're a doctor. We should trust you because what you're doing is to save lives. And people around you and people within your party enabled it with ludicrous sayings like there's no playbook for this. There's no playbook for criminalizing people for leaving their house to go get water when you know they don't have running water. There's no playbook for arresting and charging coconut vendors who are simply trying to make a living before you had any sort of food assistance or anything going. You were wrong to do these things. You were wrong to ice everyone out and don't want to take questions and give national addresses where you just bash your political opponents over and over. You say insane things like Brave Davis wanted to have more sickness, hospitalization, and death. They're saying that the audio's, is there anything you can do about it or what? It's probably the transmitter. The transmitter? That's the transmitter? All right, I can't fix it, guys. You just got to deal with what I got. That's weird. Turn it down. I don't want to hear the loop back. All right. We needed to move on. This was not a job well done, and you know it. And I know you want your party to win, and I know you support your party, but you allowed your party to be taken down the road that it should not have been taken down. It's not that the F&M's bad, and we need to move on from the F&M. We needed to move on from Dr. Minnis. This sort of leadership where we don't talk to the media, where we spout out things that don't make sense, when we are asked questions, when we talk about corruption on one hand, but when allegations of corruption arise on your end, you just simply ignore them. You try to tell us that something is not happening, that we're seeing right in front of our eyes. It's not going to work. We can't continue along with that. Now we have a supermajority again. We're telling you about the sound. I can't keep my train of thought. You guys hear that about the sound and out. I can't control it. We got a phone call? Let's take the phone call. That's fine. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Revolution.
Hi, Juan. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm hearing you fantastic, man. I'm driving in my car, so I just want to give you a call, let you know you're sounding great. And let me tell you something. If you've never been so right in your life, you are right. Know about what you're saying, because I can't see an individual say you want to be prime minister. You're given the opportunity to be prime minister to lead this great country of ours and do what minister. Everybody who minister put, I'm serious, everybody who minister put in position in some of these corporations and stuff like that, or policemen and all, I don't care. They need to get fired. I'm telling you, they need to get fired. I'm not going to go into no more, but they need to get fired.
Okay.
Okay, but
all right. Yep. They said the audio's fine when I don't raise my voice. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want from me. I could go home. I didn't want to. I really didn't want to come. I left this office at about 1:30 this morning. right? Because I have to put the paper to bed. Because I know you guys think someone unlocks a safe and I come out and do the show and I go back in that and I have just time to do all that. But I do, this is my side hustle. I got a main job and that's the Nassau Guardian. So I left there like 1:30 and I didn't get to bed till about 3. But like my wife says, the game needs you. We got a phone call. You guys can call. It's not just about what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is this. Don't feel bad, right? If you're an F&M, don't beat yourself up. But we needed to move on from Dr. Minnis. And it's not personal to you. It's him. It's not you. It's him. We dropped the standard of what the prime ministership should be in order to, I use we euphemistically, in order to assuage the ego of one man. Let's not do that anymore. Let's have a standard and recognize when people are falling short of that standard and call them out on it. And maybe he would have been teachable if you would have tried. But did anyone really try? Did anyone really say this isn't the way you engage the public? This isn't the way you engage the media? Did anyone really say, hey, we made very concrete promises and we're just reneging on them out of convenience? Did anyone say, hey, don't say we're going to have investigations when we don't have any? Did anyone check and curb these impulses is my question. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But we can't let our country rise and fall on the feelings of one individual. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how you feel. It's about what you can do for us. If you're interested in your personal feelings and your personal ego, then stay in private life and do you. And get rich and treat people however you want. If you're interested in public service, then you got to serve the public and not your own interests. You can call 323-6232. We lost good men and women. Jeff, I wanted Jeff to be there. Good people we lost. Even if they weren't going to be in cabinet, they could be in parliament. They make the parliament stronger. Now I got 30 noobs, or almost 30 noobs. I got to figure out if they're drooling morons or what. We'll see. I got to learn everybody's name now and where they come from. You lost Dwayne Sands. For what? Anyway, let's go phone line. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Revolution. Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Juan. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, the former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis spent his entire period of governance surrounding Brave Davis and the PLP. Instead, he had taken time to center it around the promises he made to the Bahamian people, him and his cabinet. Now, this morning, most of those government cars are parked at the Prime Minister's office with new incoming Prime Minister, Mr. Philip Brave Davis. But Juan, I'll tell you this. I predict this former Prime Minister, he will resign within the next month. Okay?
Well, we're going to talk about that because...
Thank you, man.
All right. We're going to talk about that because I wrote a piece in today's paper. Pick up today's copy of the Nassau Guardian, by the way. It's a collector's item. I wrote a piece in today's paper about where the F&M goes from here. You can't do this anymore. Okay? And the PLP hopefully learned this. You can't continue to do this and let your party rise and fall on the whims of what one person wants. Christie wanted to be leader forever. He wanted to be prime minister again. He couldn't accept the results in 2012. And you let him sit there and do it. And brought your party back down, broke it down to its very last compound. Does the F&M have the fortitude to understand that they should move on from Hubert Minnis as leader, that he has led them to defeat? And even if there's great disaffection for Brave Davis and he continues to be leader and maybe perhaps wins another prime ministership, which is doubtful, that it's still not going to be good for your party? You built the F&M because you couldn't take the PLP. Yes, the Dissident 8 left in 71, formed the Free PLP. Later that year, the UBP disbanded. They joined forces with the Free PLP and formed the Free National Movement. 71? 71. I think it's 71. Okay? You built this party on principle. What do you think Cecil Wallace Whitfield would say of what you've done? You've allowed personality to trump principle. And I don't understand why. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution. No? Okay. No? Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution.
Hey, good day, Juan.
How's it going?
Pretty good, man. I'm trying to figure why these political parties don't have, say, like a dissenting voice in the room. You can't just be listening to the people who drinking your Kool-Aid.
Correct.
You need somebody on the outside who will say, Chief, or people, this is what I'm hearing from the other side. I can't understand why we would let one man. The PLP did it with Christie. One leader. And the people on the ground saying all these stuff about minutes, but the party is saying every minister under the great leadership, really? And like you say, good people is get slaughtered because I can't touch you, but when I vote against you, I vote against minutes. I can close one by, I was with my daughter when she got the vote. She ain't Golden House. And she said to the candidate for the FNF, because I been by your house. She said, yeah, I saw the couple you left. But she said, I want to vote for you so bad, sir, because I don't like the PLP MD. But I cannot vote for Dr. Minutes. And if you will hold up one man to crush a party, I just don't understand why. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't understand why. Like, it doesn't make sense. You allowed them to bypass convention for 4 years? No one should even bother to challenge for leadership, vie for leadership? You think the pool of talented men and women in your party is so shallow that none could rise up? And you're going to be mad at me, and you're going to call me names and lie on me and tell me I'm being paid by the PLP or whatever like this. I really don't care. You're going to try to make it about me. I really don't care. I tried my best to be fair and objective during the course of the campaign. But I'm amazed that you didn't think that how Dr. Minnis conducted himself was not acceptable. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution.
Good afternoon, Mr. McCartney.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
You had a late night. Have you recovered?
Yeah, I'm still tired. But
Still tired, huh?
Yeah.
Well, relax this weekend.
I'll try.
I don't know if you remember, because I know you've had thousands of calls since May 2017. But I called your show and Mr. Lang's show in a particular day after the elections of 2017. And I said 2 words: arrogance and humility. They must keep those 2 words in their vocabularies, keep them at the tip of their tongues, because they can so quickly lose the importance of being in touch with their constituents, being in touch with the people. And something about being a minister and a prime minister goes to your head, and they forget to be humble, and they become arrogant. And it's simple as that. It is simple as that. Governments come and go and fall on those 2 words. They are the 2 sides of the sword that they fall on. I just thought I would remind you of that call of 4 years ago.
I don't remember it, but I thank you for it.
Hello?
And this is not to... Oh, hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the
Good
Revolution.
afternoon, Juan.
How's it going?
Now, the 7 MPs saw what they got and telling the truth. And see, parties would destroy you, stay in power. Like we were warned, but the right party was thrown on the party. Or there was the minister to the back of the party, knowing ministers like destroy the party. Look what he did to Heather Hunt with a lie. That's a lie. Why he throw out? But they sit back and watch him tell us all type of nonsense stories. Why Osborne was fired for BC board? Well, but I'm gonna set up probe. Even like that's tell us like fake stories and make up stories. The party got a stopping point for this because all the ministers talking for minutes. Carl Bell tell us what the government gonna do. He the prime minister. They stand back and not tell the minister you have to go do Q&A. That's your job to answer for the government. You in charge of the government, prime minister. But they answer for him. They talk for him. Now they got beat. And the good men like Jeff Lloyd, they're more smart to talk, but then they job to talk to us. It's the prime minister's job to talk to us and tell the truth. Bennett cannot tell the truth. I don't know why he makes up stories like why the election was called this time. Did you tell a story?
Why the election was called at this time?
Yeah, it's now than May.
He never gave an explanation as to why he called the election.
He said, if I call it in May and the pandemic on, the PLP will blame me. Something like that.
That ain't no kind of explanation.
That's what he said yesterday. Come from voting. He said if he called it in May, but then remember now, he got May, and then 3 months after May to call the election. But in May, this might be cured up. In May, we might have better medicine. Right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would have waited the entire term.
But he said because if he had called it in May, the PLP will make him call it anyhow. So I'm glad that Dr. Sands is back in the hospital and doing his job. Because by him helping Dr. Sands for the last month on Champion Trail, 20 people died at the PMX. The Dr. Sands is a chest doctor. That's his specialty.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Let's go to another phone call, then we got to take a break. It says, your poll yesterday said Minutes in the F&M would win. Now you guys cut Anton off when he calls in. You wouldn't let Dave call in the morning. Let me remind you, Brave and the PLP in charge now. Let me remind you that you can shut up and nobody cares what you're talking about Brave and the PLP being in charge of what? Of what I say? Of who we allow to call here? You better get serious. Brave and the PLP. Don't come with that energy now. You're starting off on the wrong foot. Don't come with no I in charge now energy. Don't come with that. Come with I can work to make sure you guys are confident in the job that I said, that I can do the job that I said I was going to do. I'm going to work to ensure that you don't lose faith in me like you lost faith in the former leader of the Progressive Liberal Party. I'm going to work to ensure that I can be seen to hold my ministers to account, to make sure my MPs are diligent and that they focus on their communities. That's the energy you need to come with. Don't come with no Brave and the PLP in charge now, because you see how quick you could not be in charge. I hope you do. By the way, that was just a straw poll. I don't know. I can't help it if the F&M's got better text organization than you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Revolution.
Good afternoon, Mr. McCartney. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Mr. McCartney, I seriously believe all those men would went down with the Prime Minister. Rather, they didn't go down with the Prime Minister. You see, the Prime Minister's still there.
But let's slow down. Just what you said, right? He's still there. All of them who wouldn't check him.
Thank you.
Are gone.
Now you get what I'm talking about. He had the safest seat you want to see out there. The rest of them really have to work. If they'd have just listened to what the people were saying out there and stop trying to praise the Prime Minister and holding him up on a pedestal when they get there, they praising him. You always listen to the people, you know. You know this, Mr. McCartney?
I know.
Now all of them homes sitting down just like those PLP's MP was not listening to when the people talk.
Many of them who are more qualified for leadership than he is now do not have the opportunity to lead.
And they even can't come because no one would listen to them. You see, Hubert Ingham tried to help Dwayne Sands, but Dwayne Sands had all the help in the world. They sit right there and let the Prime Minister do what he do. Dwayne Sands is a good man.
Yep.
Anyway, Mr. McCartney, you have a good day, sir.
He's exactly the type of person that we need in problem. You have a good day, too. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back on the other side. You can hold on if you're calling. We'll be right back after this.
Bahamas Check Services Limited has been printing checks, business forms, and deposit books in the Bahamas for over 30 years. We are highly specialized in creating custom forms to suit any and all your business needs. If you need continuous forms, continuous invoices, invoice books, or purchase orders, we can provide them for you. Call 677-8720 or email checks@coralwave.com.
Are you ready for school? Well, Marco's Pizza is here to help. Get ready for the new school year with our Back to School special. With our quality key ingredients, enjoy a steamy, mouth-watering, extra-large, one-topping pizza. 1 cent a square or a 1-liter Coke product for just $18. Kick off the semester the Primo way. Perfect for you and your family. Every store, every day, the Italian way.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAO, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAO, growing wealth for future generations.
Here we go. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents are the best. Reliable service, we've been on the scene, protecting since 1919. J.S. Johnson Insurance has the test. You'll always cover me. J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
If you think you can't afford to dress to impress, or replace those utensils, or maybe even upgrade your household appliances, then you don't know Y-Care's Fashion Center. With 3 locations to serve you, Y-Care's Fashion Center features the things you need or want, all at a price that you can afford. Open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Y-Care's Fashion Center also has the island's largest jean collection. Put the fun back in shopping and visit your favorite Y-Care's location today, where you can afford to look good.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Revolution. Maybe I got the mic too close or something. I don't know. I sounded fine when I heard the loop back. Welcome to the Revolution. Welcome back to the Revolution here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We're breaking down the F&M's loss. We're gonna deal with the F&M, but PLP, I'm gonna get to you. Okay, I'm gonna get to my memory isn't that short. I'm gonna get to you shortly. You take your victory lap. No problem. I'm going to get to you in a second. What I want to say is this. A free national movement, you were built on sound principles, good ideals, and we need a healthy opposition party in this country. We need a healthy free national movement. We need a healthy progressive liberal party. We need healthy third parties. By the way, y'all don't talk to me about no third party like that no more. I explained to you what was going to happen. When you get representation, we talk. We need you to be strong, right? So here's what to do. You need wholesale change in leadership. You need to ask Dr. Minnis to resign as leader of the F&M. He's going to be an albatross around the neck of those young MPs who were elected to Parliament for the Free National Movement. You need fresh leadership. And it doesn't have to be that the FNM leader is in the House of Assembly. It happened before with Tommy Turnquist. That didn't work out well. But it doesn't have to be that your leader is in the House of Assembly. The House of Assembly is one thing. You're not in governance. All right? You can have a leader of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition and have a leader of the Free National Movement. But you're going to need to excise that which caused you to go down this road behind Dr. Minnis' shenanigans. And you can be a strong FNM. You need to invite back the people that you isolated from the Free National Movement. I want you to be strong. I want you to be good. You need to do a deep post-mortem on what happened and try to figure out how you don't let it happen again. The strongest thing you can do, the best thing you can do is have a strong, what is it called? The Meritorious Council or whatever. Have a strong one of those that holds the leadership to account, that doesn't give in to what the leadership is talking about. I couldn't believe how you conducted your campaign. You know, you guys got some stuff done this lap, but you wouldn't even talk about it. You had Ellsworth Johnson out there whiling, talking about child molesters and all this stuff like that. He was just following the leader. Talk about Brave. Yeah, we could deal with Brave. We could get to Brave. But right now, we talking about you. And if all you got to tell me about what you've done these past 4.5 years is how Brave is a disaster and Cat Island run down, then what is we talking about? Let's go to the phone line. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Revolution. Hello, good afternoon.
Good day, Juan. How you doing?
I'm great. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Let me first of all acknowledge and thank God for having blessed us with a peaceful election again. That was a very outstanding element of it for me.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Also, even though it rained after the result, after the polls were closed last night, thank God it didn't rain during the election time itself.
Mm-hmm.
Question for you folks in the media. Can you please find out why the Bahamian people were insulted last night by the parliamentary department by leaving the vote count so short as they did? I support with Jerome Sawyer the sentiments he expressed last night. We are all out here listening, waiting for all of the results to come in. But the moment Dr. Minnis would have conceded, the parliamentary department seemed to shut down and gone home. With leaving so many of us hanging, Vaughn, to me as a voting citizen who paying taxes in this country, that's insulting. And it really has to stop. This is the second time I believe the parliamentary department would have done the second election in a row. So if you guys in the media can look into that and really expose what went wrong and to help us in the public to understand it so we can fight against it properly, please, we'd appreciate that.
Okay, I hear you. I'll say this. I was at the parliamentary registration department last night, and it was going smoothly. I think a lot to do with it is that we kind of have an antiquated system, because I can't recall ever getting all the election results in one night. I can't. Maybe somebody covered elections before I got into this, and they can, but I can't. And I'll be honest with you, I was at the parliamentary registration department, and the moment Dr. Minnis conceded, I told my guys, we can go. And I came back here to the office. So I think they did a pretty good job, and it was much to improve over past years. That you wanted them to continue is one thing. I guess we could do that if we got real solid results, but I don't know of anywhere in the world that they get all the results one night. I know people call elections, people concede an election, but I don't know anywhere in the world that does that. I could be that I just don't know, but I haven't heard anywhere in the world where they just continue on and on and on and on. They're human beings. They gotta take a break. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Revolution. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hey, what's up, Brother Juan?
Right here, man. How's it going?
Okay, I just want to call in to give a shout.
Yeah, your connection's pretty bad there. So give us a call back. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Revolution.
Good afternoon, Juan. How you doing, my friend?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great, man. Hey, give me about 2 or 3 minutes. I can try to speak slowly and a little proper today.
Okay.
First of all, Juan, on behalf of me and my family, we congratulate with the Brave David Cooper for winning an election. Okay? Now, I know Brave David is a good man, and he said that he can cover for all of the people. And what I would like to do, Juan, I would like to get a hard copy so I could highlight this in their plan. Because what we need to do, we need to hold all these guys accountable. Now, I knew that they would have lost some seats, but I never thought we would get, because I had us to win 21 or 22 seats. But when people like Jeff Lloyd and the other side, I said, Lord, I tell my 2 daughters, I said, girl, we get beaten because then I went to the poll. We didn't take long to vote, but what happened is that a lot of people were in their own clothes. They weren't wearing no PRP or F&M power familiars, etc., etc. And I say in order to say, the same thing happened to Papa, the same thing happened to Mr. Christie, because see, they don't listen to the Bimini people. I keep telling all members of Parliament, Bimini people, we are not scared of politicians, we are scared of the national beliefs, we are afraid of nobody in this country no more. The Bimini people know their rights, and they show the patience, and with all this fight, like you say, they don't have no opposition. No opposition. And let me tell you what is going to happen. The Brave David could be under so much pressure with them PRP soil council members. Well, trust me, I'm not going to say nothing. I am going to give them the Brave David 6 months a year to see. Now, I want all those people out there to know. You still got license on your car. You still got to pay mortgage. You still got to pay school fee. You still got to buy grocery. Now, let me tell you who you can blame for this, man. Hey, Juan, I'm trying to take my call, my brother.
No problem. I'm going to say this. I ain't giving you no year. Okay? We tried that. Remember that? We tried that like 6 months. Let's see what happens in 6 months. I'm not giving you nothing.
If you'd like,
I don't want to make a call. I'm not giving you no time. You're going to get sworn in by tomorrow, maybe, right? So I'm giving you from then. I don't want to hear no slapping up. We are in the most serious set of circumstances that we have ever been in, which boggles my mind as to why an election would be called right now. We are facing an avalanche of debt. We are facing, I don't care what you say, a balance of payment issue. It's staring us in the face. It's right over there. We have extremely high unemployment still. We have a lot of businesses that not have recovered. And we have a hospital, 2 hospitals, that are packed with people who are sick as a dog from COVID. And community spread is still happening. So you don't have 6 months from me. You don't have a year. You have from you're sworn in. So I suggest right now you be working, Mr. Davis. So get your cabinet together, right? Figure out who's going where. You can't give everybody everything. Don't play that game. I would suggest you stop this practice of giving MPs executive chairmanships of state-owned agencies. But it's work time. There's no honeymoon. There's no grace period. It's work time. The building can be crumbling, and you go, well, I'm going to get to it. We'll see. Nope. You got to hit the ground running. And Fred Mitchell expressed a sentiment that that's exact. They understand that. Let's take one more call and we'll go to a break.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hey, Juan, that's me?
Yeah, that's you.
Okay, Juan. Everything cool, eh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Juan, I want to start off by saying thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for us getting rid of them Philistines or Egyptians, whatever you all might want to call them. So I wish we'd get Dr. Minnis too, but, you know, some of the candidates that are members of Parliament might consider that's a win for them, but that's a win for us Bahamian people. I know they say maybe over 100,000 people did not participate in this general election, either because of the COVID virus or whatever, but we thank God we get rid of Hubert Minnis them now. I hear you talking about, Juan, you know what I think? People like you, the Guardian, people like me, although you might not be, I am PLP, I supported them and everything, right? But I hear the way of God spare my life to whip them in place, to keep them in place, to keep them in check. Because some of these people, they think it's all about them. They think they're some boss. Just like they said, we get rid of. That's why we get rid of Jeff Lloyd and Frankie Campbell and even Desmond Bannister, my slow motion walking, talking friend. He used to be my friend, right? The reason why we get rid of them because of their attitude. See, Dr. Sands ain't no less better than Shenandoah Cartwright. No, he's a decent person too, no. But you see, Shenandoah winning seat, us PLP people, them and all, voted for Shenandoah. See, Dr. Sands, we prefer him in the hospital. I wish they could pay him right and stuff, but it's all about the attitude. See, Dr. Minnis, he rub us wrong. People say this shouldn't be nothing to do with emotion. He make us feel a certain way.
And that's exactly it.
He make us feel a certain way about him. People, I can't say I blind, right? But people tell me a video going on right now where my leader, the whole Bahamas Prime Minister, landed to the airport. What Stephen Seymour and Stephen Dean, them, please one, Stephen Dean and Seymour, them, they done had their time. Seymour, I hear he dressed up in a uniform of former Assistant Commissioner of Police, receiving the Prime Minister. People like Stephen, we don't need Stephen Dean to be in charge of no community policeman or urban renewal. People like Fernanda, they are decent people. People like Strawn, you could bring them back. People like Riemann Delaware, please keep them in foreign affairs. The young officers voted for the PLP this time because those officers was removed.
All right, we got to go to a news break. Thanks for calling. We'll be back on the other side. We're going to talk election issues and everything like that. Look, don't take it personal, okay? Don't take it personal. Dr. Minnis was not right to lead this country. Don't take it personal. Please. We'll be back on the other side.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Celebrations usually happen after election. Let's celebrate responsibly. Remember, the COVID-19 virus is spread when you talk, shout, sneeze without a face covering, so avoid large crowds and practice physical distancing. To reduce your risk of exposure, wear your mask properly, that is, over your nose and mouth. Be sure to wash or sanitize your hands often. Please be safe, Bahamas, by getting vaccinated and following all COVID-19 public health measures. Let's work together to protect each other from COVID-19. Our country depends on it.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health and this radio station.
Girl, Junior just showed me Bella Boy in his phone.
What you mean? He take picture of that good-for-nothing boy?
Shh, you don't want Bella here. You say that. You know she always say that's my good child.
So what he doing in Junior phone?
Oh, he there because the police looking for him. He on their wanted list.
Wanted persons in your phone now?
Yes, child. And when police want to find anybody quick, after something happen, they can send picture direct to your phone. Go to Google Play or App Store and search for Crack Crime Bahamas. Then pick install and it will go straight to your phone.
There is also a section on missing persons?
Yes, girl. Everybody needs to get this app so police can tell us right away when these people go missing. Just like an alert system.
Yes, it has numbers for Crime Stoppers Bahamas so you can call and nobody knows it's you. Call directly to Miami and give the information without giving your name or anything about you. I tried the other day and when I hear Junior and his boys talking about where they hide those guns, I walk quick round the corner and call that number.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bf.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
Summer is heating up, and Burger King Nassau is bringing the flavor. Introducing our all-new take on a classic chicken sandwich, the Barbecue Swiss Crispy King. Our new sandwich is full of smoky and tangy flavor and features our crispy chicken patty with tangy chipotle sauce, onion rings, bacon, Swiss cheese, lettuce, and tomato, plus a smoky barbecue sauce on a soft potato bun. The new Barbecue Swiss Crispy King chicken sandwich with fries and a Pepsi is a summer treat you will love to eat, but only available for a limited time and only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
to the revolution here on Guardian Radio. 96.9 FM. My name's Juan McCartney. We're breaking down the election, the result of it. Yesterday, before I get into my text messages, because I want to give you some attention, let's just talk about, and the raw politics of it, let's talk about the process yesterday. So first of all, that was the smoothest voting process that I've ever experienced since I started voting after I was 18. That's the smoothest that's ever been. It's the quickest. There were no lines because no one showed up, right? Because no one was there. Because people just didn't want to vote. I prepared to go for line, but I was sitting at home, right? And I was like, you know what? I can go later. Because everyone's like, yeah, I didn't go around 2 o'clock. I was like, yeah, I can go after the show. And then the reporters went early because they had to work early. And they were like, and Jared was in St. Anne's, which is my constituency. And he was like, it took me 5 minutes. You know, there's no line. And so I told my wife, I was like, let's go ahead and throw on our clothes. I took a shower, went out there, parked. There was no issue. Saw Brent Simonet, gave him the the fist, right? Went in. He helped me find my polling division. My wife was the first person at the door. She went in. I was out there for maybe 3-4 minutes, and then I went in. I was in there, in and out. Right? Smoothest process I've ever had. Very well organized, social distance. I think they learned lessons of the advance poll, or maybe the advance poll was just some aberration in some respects. But it was the smoothest process I've ever experienced, perhaps because so few people turned out to vote. I'm not sure that we're going to crest 100,000 voters in this election, which would be the lowest turnout we have had since universal suffrage. So we'll see. We should know by tonight. The results should be, the final results should be known by tonight. It's how many people voted, which speaks to some serious voter apathy. And let me say this, the fact that people didn't show up to vote is an indictment on all parties involved, but particularly an indictment on the sitting government, that you couldn't inspire people to come out and give you support to the point where they just didn't bother. All right? It was probably a mix of things, a confluence of things. People are worried about the pandemic. They saw the advance poll and they thought, well, I'm not heading into no super spreader. Probably a lot of voter apathy. A lot of people turned off by the prime minister. A lot of people who did not support the prime minister but simply could not support Philip Brave Davis. And I really think that it was a smart move for Brave Davis to acknowledge that yesterday and to say, I know a lot of you didn't vote for me, but I'm still going to work for you. That's the type of energy we want, not your rabid supporter talking about y'all in charge now. We put you out of power quick, right? Don't start off with this arrogance. Don't start off with this condescension, this threatening, this bullying. You are there to serve the Bahamian people. The Bahamian people are not there to kowtow to you. And we've demonstrated that to you over and repeatedly, but yet somehow some people still don't get it. Let me do some text messages and then I'll get to the calls. But I got to do text messages. I got a lot of text messages. It says, a great day. I wonder about the police promotions. I wonder if those officers who got their call about being promoted will now get a new call telling them that they've been taken off the promotion and replaced with the PLP supporters within the force. The new PM says he's all for Bahamians, and I hope so. We shall see. Yeah, we'll see. One's talking about the audio. This one's saying amen. Audio. 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 Hi, Mr. McCartney. The audio's not going in and out. Okay. This says, Juan, remind me to have you on my side if I ever become leader, because I watched you for the last almost 15 years, and you took down many PMs. You're a good one. It ain't me. They took themselves out. Okay. There's a lot of stuff about the audio. Jeez. I gotta get through these before I could get through. It says, good morning. You could be so arrogant and disrespectful at times. You need to chill out, bro. You're not perfect. Your audio sucks. Fix it. Look, man, here's one thing I am, is consistent. So if you don't like what you're hearing, I'm not fitting to change it. So your best bet would be to not listen, because I do not take your advice, all right? That you think I'm arrogant is your problem. Did the lights... Did the generator not kick in? There we go. Lights went out. This is so much audio remarks. It says, sir, Dr. Minnis never won an election. Papa won the 2017 election for Minnis. Dr. Sands, who would have not been a minister if Dr. Minnis had won, lost his seat because of his attachment to Minnis. Minnis destroyed the FNM, and they should get rid of him as leader immediately. Good afternoon, Juan in the Bahamas. Often I have iterated that Dr. Minnis didn't need the big shots money in 2017 to win that election because the people was for him and the FNM. But they neglected the masses. Now the masses have rejected them. Juan, you might also recall the many times I've lamented on Bahamian musicians and entertainers, finding it difficult. Yes, I agree. This says, audio. It says, so now the PLPs want to work together to build a better country, but that they do the same during the last administration. They must realize that whatever you give out, you will receive. It says, McCartney, let's not focus on what's gone under the bridge, but focus on keeping this brave crew to the wheel and doing what's right, e.g. leave those contracts that's in place, ensure our farmers, taxi drivers, and all ministries get what is fairly due without political victimization. That's the kind of PLP I am. Hope brave, those are the same. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you gotta be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. We can talk about we can do a postmortem on the election and still talk about what needs to be done by the PLP. It says, now Minnis says, worry about the PLP, huh? As we begged to see him during the COVID press conferences versus proclamations, A is A, B is B, C is C, bye, boy, bye. Sheesh, roll out, man, give Pintard the leadership. It says, the PLP need not forget 4.5 years ago, they were swept out of office and the countdown has begun until the next election. The DNA and all the other independent candidates, wake up. Now's the time to begin campaigning. Don't disappear and reappear in 4 years, expecting we voters to support you, not knowing who the hell you are. This says, I agree with you. They try to bring how they manage the private sector to the public sector. And for some things, it won't work because there's a social part of the system. Democracy is mixed with socialism, but they want to manage it as if they're running a little company where they do what they want, how they want. Yeah, I'm going to get to the thing. We got it's probably over 100 text messages. This says, hey, Juan, I don't think you're arrogant. However, when you tell sitting leaders to not be arrogant and they should listen to you, you need to do the same when others tell you about your arrogance. I'm just saying, other than that, you're being hypocritical. But I'm not arrogant, though. I'm not arrogant. Arrogance, I mean, look at the dictionary definition of arrogance. We try to attach arrogance to so many different things, right? The definition of arrogance is to think you're more important and relevant than you actually are, and I don't think that, all right? This is a platform. I'm speaking my mind and being honest with people. If you don't like what you're hearing, you tune out, right? There are certain people I don't like to listen to, and I don't listen to them. I tune out. And I have no idea what they're saying, and I have no idea what they're talking about because I'm not interested in it, right? So if you tell me something that's real about me that I can critically assess, I will listen. And people who know me know that. But when you tell me things that don't apply to me, I'm going to disregard it. And that's just how we're going to have to move forward in life. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution. Hello, good afternoon. Okay. Let's take another call. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution. Hello, good afternoon. Nope. Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution.
Yes, good afternoon, Juan. How are you doing?
I'm great. How's it going?
Yeah, the election, it's amazing that after Mr. Minnis loses the election, then he understands the importance of being honest with the Bahamian people. Why? You know, he want to give people never took any advice from people who gave him sober advice. It's just amazing. I hope that I listened to all of what you had to say in your opening statement, but I trust that the Free National Movement Party, because I supported them almost my entire life, but I hope that they take him from the role of leadership. He should not lead the opposition into the new parliament. It doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
And I trust that they pick someone from among one of those who were able to win their seat, and maybe a Pintard or somebody like that, I believe would be suitable in my opinion. I think he will make a good leader because he seems to have a pulse on what is going on. I think he would be the ideal person. That's my opinion as an F&M. And I will make that clear to the authorities because I don't want to see Menace at all. I wish he had lost his seat because he caused a lot of the people who you said you would have wished to be in Parliament are now out of Parliament because of Mr. Menace.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I'll say this, right? And I get it. I get but this is how you got here in the first place, right? I get the impulse to go, yeah, this guy's the leader and that's it, and let's go, before you understand where he wants to take the party. So I do think Dr. Minnis should resign as leader of the FNM. However, the FNM is going to have to have either just an interim leader. I don't know how their constitution works, while they go through a proper process of convention or whatever like that, and really put everything up for grabs, who wants to be involved in the FNM, and not just have this loaded deck, before you just crown someone their leader. That's it. They're in charge of the party. They get to do whatever they want, shape it to its will, however they see fit. I think that's a mistake. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution.
Hey, Juan.
Hi.
Is any truth to the rumor that Timothy Stewart has passed away?
Reverend Timothy Stewart? Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. This says, what time is curfew? 9 o'clock last I checked. It says, Juan, please explain to me how these FNMs are ignoring that Minnis has been a dictator for over a year. I didn't get it. Like, I didn't get how you could just... I get how you could be an FNM and you go, I support the FNM. I don't think the PLP is good for the country. I want the FNM to be in power. I get that, right? But when some of the more ludicrous things occurred under Dr. Minnis, I don't get how you don't say, yeah, I support the FNM, but I don't support that. I heard a lot of massaging of the truth from people I greatly have a great deal of respect for as well. I heard a lot of bending of standards in order to make things seem acceptable that we would have all previously agreed were not. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution.
Good afternoon, Mr. McCartney.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, been doing an autopsy on this election, this debacle that happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I am a non-aligned. I don't support either party because I think that I refuse to perpetuate this 5-year dance that we continue to perpetuate in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I see it is, we got to, first of all, people have to examine themselves, specifically the people in these parties that put these cult of personalities up as bigger than life and not really holding their feet to the fire when it comes to really speaking truth to power. And as I see it, we're going to continue to go through this, putting people like Dr. Minnis up there when we know the FNM knew that Dr. Minnis wasn't qualified. Loretta Butler Turner et al. They basically sounded the alarm during the last FNM party infighting that they had, and nobody really listened to them. And so they ran on ahead. They put Dr. Minnis up. And they saw that Dr. Minnis wasn't qualified, I should say, to be prime minister, because all the mistakes he made, these were amateur mistakes. And the one big mistake he didn't do that he did elucidate in his post-election press conference statement was that you got to listen to the people. So finally, he, a light went on in his head, and he said, "Eureka! This is what it is. We have to listen to the people." But people were saying that he heard the disgruntlement in the country. He heard the dissatisfaction with his leadership and the way he was governing the country, but he didn't listen. And there were people around him that were propping him up. And so when the FNM does decide to have a convention that Dr. Minnis kept postponing or canceling, when they finally do that, they have to really do some self-examination and say, well, we got to put the best up if we want to get back in governance, because the FNM party, the candidate committee, or whoever puts these people up to be elected, they have some real self-examinations to do, because they got to understand that the Bahamian people aren't the same. We're not going to just put people up because that's who you want.
Correct. Like, we're not just going to accommodate you. It says, Juan, back in 2017, when you gave that scathing rebuke to the PLP last election and endorsed the FNM, I endorse no FNM now. It says, you were big enough to apologize, admit you were disappointed in the FNM after the fact. I don't see the arrogance these people are talking about. At least you're big enough to admit the FNM failure before now. I mean, I've learned long ago that I'm gonna get it. No matter who's in power, people are gonna have a problem with me. All right, and they're gonna make it personal to me. And when people don't have an argument to stand on, they resort to these ad hominem attacks, and that's okay. That's your frailty. That's your weak ability to reason that you personally have to deal with. All right, with me, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You're free to have your opinion either way. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Revolution.
Hey.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hey, what's it, Juan?
I'm right here, man. What's happening?
Look here. I just calling in to congratulate the incoming Prime Minister and my boy, Juan Miller. So I hope that this party do what I heard the Prime Minister said last night, the incoming Prime Minister. It's all about the people. And for what I know about him, I know he's a man he word. But you just got to keep him in prayer. And brave, we know you could do it. Let's do it, make it work, and we wouldn't be having this. One party next time, the next party. We want one consistent party governing our nation and leading us straight through victory. So, God bless. Brother Juan.
Hey.
Keep up the good work, bro.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And, we wish the incoming Prime Minister well. We want him to do well. I wanted Hubert Minnis to do well, even though I had deep reservations about his ability to do well. I wanted the FNM to do well because I was very buoyed by the fact that he had such capable people on the team. But in my estimation, he made too many mistakes. He just would not learn from them, would not adjust. He couldn't correct his attitude because a lot of it is about how you make people feel, particularly when the focus is on you. Like, you put the focus on yourself instead of the work, and then you have a terrible attitude about it, and you wonder why people have a problem with you. All right? Here's how to get reelected, okay? You're going to need some things that you can't control to go in your favor. So you're going to need satisfactory economic conditions, all right? They don't have to be great and booming, because even when things were going very well in 2007, the incumbent administration lost power. You got to make people feel good about you, and you have to set conditions in the country to where people are not focused on you because they have so much going on. You have to be able to manage people properly, and that's going to be a challenge for Brave Davis. It's difficult to manage 32 people. It's a challenge, all right, to watch everybody and make sure everybody's clicking. But it's possible, all right? So make people feel good about you when you talk to them, like you actually care, like you're listening, like you're trying to address a concern. set conditions in the country that give people a lot to do so that they're not laser focused on you. And manage your team. All right? You got to manage your team. Let's do one call and then we go to a break. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Revolution.
Juan McCartney.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How's it going?
Number one, it's me. You ain't no arrogant fellow, man. You're just a confident fellow and straightforward, okay? So don't let anybody sidetrack you, okay?
I got you.
That's one, no. From day one, you were saying this government gone. Number one, no. I'd be respectful, but the bottom line, when you're a big, grown man in the cabinet, who see a bunch of skullduggery and you ain't talking nothing, that was happened. No one. Can you hear me right?
I can hear you.
Remember, I was telling you a long time what the ground was saying?
Yep.
So the bottom line, well, I mean, like I say again, when you have people like Adrian Gibson who blatantly did foolishness against one, it's so ironic. He went to seek. No, Adrian Gibson might be the first MP to be arrested in House Assembly if Evans are down.
Okay, we're not going down that road, man. And you know that. Like, why? Right? You support the PLP. Why you got to go rap people and all this other stuff? That's why Dwight bans you. All right? That's why, not because we're anti-PLP. I don't want to have to navigate that and walk through that minefield with you. Let's one more call and then break. All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Revolution. Hello. Good afternoon. Are you there?
Hello, Mr. McCartney.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm pretty good. Mr. McCartney, you're not an arrogant person, okay? So don't let nobody get to you in that way, man.
I know I'm not. I'm quite humble, actually. Anyone who knows me knows that.
Right, and your show is, I guess when you big, when you large, and you didn't make yourself large. The callers make that, man. Your show is one of the best shows in this country.
Thank you, bro.
People wait for you, and I think that was a good example the other day when you did a straw poll and 700 callers. That should tell you how, popular your show is.
Thanks, bro.
But Mr. Carney, I want to ask you a question.
Shoot.
What about the cabinet?
I was going to get to that on Monday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, to pick the cabinet.
I mean, you yourself, you know anybody that you would like to see in, like, say, let's say, Minister of Finance, Minister of National Security, Attorney General? I
could name you a couple of people I don't want. I don't want to see in those positions.
But one person I want sports because I used to play cricket and I used to play soccer. Mario Boleg. I hope they give him sports. I don't know how good you know him.
I know of him. I don't know him personally.
Right.
But
I hope he become the Minister of Youth and Sport. Finally, we'll have somebody who understands sports, who know about sports, who bring up a lot of young men in this country. And I hope they give him that.
Well, I think I've heard only good things about him.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Because I want to wonder, between Mr. Michael Alcides, because they have to find a position for him, and Mr. Chester Cooper, which one do you think would be the Minister of Finance? I leave you.
I'm going to go with Minister of Finance. I don't know. That's a good one. Chester Cooper, I could see as Minister of Finance because he understands it very well.
So where would you put Michael Alcides?
This is what I'm saying. I'm not sure. I would put Michael Alcides at least as Minister of State for Finance again.
Okay, all right. Okay, man, thanks.
If he's in the Senate. And that one, kind of, I feel mixed emotions about it. Because I know Shannon Dunn, and I know Michael Alcides. Like, I know Shannon Dunn's mom. Like, she's like family. So I feel torn. I think they both were very deserving. And if I were Alcides, I'd be quite upset with the PLP because Von Miller just popped up and he's there when Alcides has been putting in work for years. That's unfortunate. I wish they'd have kept Alcides in Golden Isles. He's deserving of that seat. And he just had a few weeks to really get to know those people, few months to get to know all the people in St. Barnabas when Shannon was working that for years. Unfortunate that they did that with him. I would have told Vaughn he got to take a seat or go run somewhere that's hard. Like Killarney or one of them, if you really want to be in this. All right, let's take a break, and we'll be back on the other side.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Summer is heating up, and Burger King Nassau is bringing the flavor. Introducing our all-new take on a classic chicken sandwich, the Barbecue Swiss Crispy King. Our new sandwich is full of smoky and tangy flavor and features our crispy chicken patty with tangy chipotle sauce, onion rings, bacon, Swiss cheese, lettuce, and tomato, plus a smoky barbecue sauce on a soft potato bun. The new Barbecue Swiss Crispy King chicken sandwich with fries and a Pepsi is a summer treat you will love to eat, but only available for a limited time and only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bf.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome back to the Revolution here on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. We're going to get to your calls and we're going to get to your texts, but I also want to explain something to you, and I want to read something to you, all right? And it's by Candida Dames, the executive editor of the Nassau Guardian. And there's something you should know about the Guardian. As mad as you guys want to get at us, many people are employed here. And we strive to have the best product possible so that we can have satisfied viewers. And we make the lion's share of our revenue that keeps people employed through advertising. One of those things is government advertising. And this doesn't inform our critique of the Prime Minister. In fact, it reaffirmed our commitment to critique those in power. But we were cut off from almost all government advertising during the last, say, 4 years. While the Tribune was not, while the Punch was rewarded with taxpayer dollars. So I'm going to read this for you. It's by our executive editor, Candida Dames. It's called Punishing the Free Press. During the course of the general election season, the Nassau Guardian, the official gazette, was cut out of government advertising. The word came down to us early that this was due to our critique of the Minnis administration. The company lost significant business as a result of this decision being taken. Still, we pressed on, recognizing the role of a free press in a democracy. We carried no water for any side. We constantly strive to adhere to the highest ideals of journalism. When we erred, we recognized our responsibility to correct our errors, to be respectful of our readers, and to respect our daily role in documenting history. In 2002, Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham endorsed the Declaration of Chapultepec on our country's behalf. The declaration was written during a hemispheric conference on freedom of expression that took place in 1994 in Mexico, sponsored by the Inter-American Press Association. It contained 10 fundamental principles necessary to safeguard a free press. Ingraham stated during the signing ceremony that his government abides by the principles of Chapultepec and urged future leaders to foster a free press in the Bahamas. The declaration is based on the essential precept that no law or act or government may limit freedom of expression or of the free press, whatever the medium of communication. The declaration states, the media and journalists should neither be discriminated against nor favored because of what they write or say. Tariff and exchange policies, licenses for the impartation of paper or news gathering equipment, the assigning of radio and television frequencies, and the granting or withdrawal of government advertising may not be used to reward or punish the media or individual journalists. It adds, no news medium nor journalist may be punished for publishing the truth or criticizing or denouncing the government. The long and short of it is that the Minnis administration punished the Nassau Guardian because it did not like what we were printing. But we stand tall. The Nassau Guardian has been around for 177 years. We have withstood administrations over many decades. We have seen prime ministers come and prime ministers go. We have survived as a newspaper of record and as a business. We recommit to the ideals espoused in the Declaration of Chapultepec as its new chapter in our national life unfolds. The free press lives on. All right, that was by Candia Dames, our executive editor. So I want to ask you out there, FNM, how do you stand by and watch your leader blatantly punish the press? I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Blatantly punish the press. When you were ushered into power by a man who opened up the airwaves, by a man who stopped the Pingling era practice of only giving one newspaper business. How do you stand by and let that happen and think that that makes sense? Do you know the nonsense I heard from sitting cabinet ministers about we have an agenda because the government owes Kalina money and all this other stupidness? The insults we bore, me personally, others in our newsroom, over and repeatedly for doing our jobs? How do you stand by and let him take you down that road? That's a very serious question. How do you do that? And look yourself in the eye and go, this is the FNM. The people who fought for freedom of the press. Now rally behind a man who uses his power to discriminate where he funnels taxpayer dollars based on if the people support him who are in the press. I don't get it. All right? If my bosses came to me, and see, I guess this is where me and some people are different. If my bosses came to me and said, hey, I want you to publish this attack piece on Minutes and all that stuff like that, I would tell them I'm not prepared to do that. All right? I'm not putting my name on that. I'm not keeping my name on this masthead. My name's on the masthead of the Nassau Guardian. You know how long I worked for that to get there? How much sacrifice I went through and I put my family through to be able to have my name printed on the masthead of the Nassau Guardian? I wouldn't compromise that based on the whim of how whoever was in charge felt. How do you let somebody compromise the principles of your party? What good are the principles if you discard them based on how one person feels? That's my rant. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution. Hello, good afternoon. No, let's move on to another call. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, you know, as long as you see the word on the contact.
Hello. I'm sorry, I can't make out what you're saying. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution.
Hey, a pleasant good afternoon. Brother Juan, I hope you're doing well.
I'm good. How's it going?
It's going well. You know, the former Minister of Health, when asked about the post office deal, he said that the Bahamian people will decide whether they will keep the post office or not. So the Bahamian people have decided what they wanted to do. But my question, Brother Juan, is what will the speech from the throne look like and the opening of Parliament look like under this new COVID environment?
Well, it's going to have to be a very subdued affair because we're now letting exuberance make us flout public health protocols. And I saw that a lot last night, particularly with the Davis camp. there was a bashment at PLP headquarters in Grand Bahama, right?
Right.
I don't even know what you call what happened at PLP headquarters in Nassau last night. That was a fet. When Davis won in Cat Island, no social distancing, everybody hugging up, everybody all close, crowded and stuff like this, right? I'm happy for him. But we are in an environment where there's community spread of COVID-19, all right? And wearing a mask helps, but it's not going to stop you from catching COVID-19. When he came to the airport today, crowd, big mashup, everybody all hug and kiss and cry and jumping down. I get it. But it's going to have to be, you're going to have to carry on much more, in a much more subdued fashion as you move forward. Says Juan, pure foolishness, the withdrawal of government advertising, that's a communistic move. You guys at The Guardian have my utmost respect. Don't be discouraged. Continue the fight. Continue the revolution. And I, even through all that, and I knew that was going on, but I didn't have permission to talk about it publicly, I still was like, let me be fair. Let me do you guys a service that you expect of me and be fair and present what both sides are saying, even as we were being blatantly discriminated against. All right. We got another call. Let's do it. I know I see a lot of your text messages. I'm going to try to get to a few of them here in a moment. Let me just cycle through a couple of calls. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. McCarthy, and also congratulations to the winning party and the leaders, etc. I think the reason why the parliamentary ceased their work last night, I believe, because of the proximity to the headquarters, because they needed the government, the winning party needed time to celebrate, and that was a very congested area there. So I think that's the reason. But I have a question for you, sir. I want to know if you find any flaw or fault in yourself in terms of are you infallible? I don't like the I. That's what I want to make certain that someone spoke about the arrogance, and I think you explained it as confidence some time ago. So I just want to know if you do. That's personally introspection, looking in the mirror, and take a beating sometime. On yourself, criticize yourself.
I have people criticize me every single day of my life.
No, yourself. If you do it to yourself.
All right, we're going to move on. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution. Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, Juan.
Hey, how's it going?
I wanted to comment on that piece you read from Candia, right? I know I hope I don't live in utopia, but I mean, we do know, and this is what I thought Bahamians want to move away from, right? We want to move away from, if you're not my party supporter, or you don't support our ideas, are we going to victimize you? I hope we are trying to move away from that, right? Yes. So we have the e-procurement and these other bidding things that's supposed to be, impartial, right? So I know too that you have civil servants that are not let go after an election, and they may be PLP or they may be F&M, and we all know that these people hold vendettas and they do things. They hold up things that cost people their business. Don't we want to move away from stuff like that? I just cannot believe that a prime minister would send down instructions to each of the agencies or ministries and say, listen, we're going to hold this particular station or wherever accountable, because they making some comments we don't like.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
And if that happens, we're in trouble, right? Because that is ridiculous. You're a Bahamian. That should not happen. And if it did happen, I want to know. It might be private, but was a letter sent to the PM to say, listen, look, this is what is happening? I mean, because we all know that civil servants do this kind of mess.
It wasn't, ma'am, it wasn't civil servants. It was the prime minister.
My Lord.
Since we're talking about it openly, our head of advertising and marketing went to the prime minister several times and explained what was happening, and he ignored her. When we talked to the people at the government publications office and the cabinet office, they said it's a direct order from the prime minister.
My goodness, well, that is the most despicable. I mean, if that is still happening in this day and age, you remember in the days of victimization, back in the day when you couldn't say anything before the radio stations were able to open up and people were able to voice their concerns. It's a sad indictment, really.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. It says in 2020, The Guardian printed the judiciary notice. The Tribune did not. That was many sections of printing and thousands of dollars. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to tell you the story behind that. They did that without the prime minister knowing about it because they felt sorry for us. All right? The civil servants did it. And after that happened, he told them that that's not to happen anymore. That's how that happened. That's how bad it was, since we're now publicly talking about it. And a lot of you are going to try to find ways to excuse it because, you're going to mold yourself around whatever foolishness in order to say that someone's right when you know in your heart that they're wrong, that it's wrong to do that. But this is why you are where you are. Those of you who still want to try to find a way to defend it, this is why your party is where it is. Because you compromise your principles. That's why you are where you are. Those of you who still seek to justify that sort of behavior. You still don't see that you have to be able to stand up and say, something is not right with this. And if you're not able to, then you need some deep self-reflection, right? Like the guy who calls and wants to talk to me about my self-reflection. I don't know you, sir, but that's weird, okay? Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. McCartney.
Hey, welcome to the revolution.
Yeah, I listened to the first hour. I missed a couple of minutes, but, I just wanted to get this in. And you caused me to call. You probably, when you talk about the proximity and the celebratory post-victory, right, I'd like to congratulate them. It reminded me of something I read about indoor transmissions as far as microns and particle size versus, thoracic, like inhaling, right, and different sizes of the viruses, right, particle stuff. And so it's scary. It's scary. I like if you would develop it because he was the only person seemed to really read one or two articles online, right? And so just remember to the Beam public, the celebration must cease and we must get to work because I've read the Great Reset and the post-pandemic era, and it's scary. I don't want to put it on the radio, but just remember that compliance feeds totalitarianism, and also that I broke a chain of thought here. Just have a good day, brother.
Okay, my brother. Take care. All right. And you can believe whatever you like. I'm telling you what's real. All right? And I dare anyone to deny it. It says you better swim in this wave with brave or else you'll drown. Okay. Juan, how did they open up Munnings Road so fast? It says, Juan, what is that you're snacking on? It was like ice. I got caught with some ice in my mouth. It says, too arrogant, pompous, and head hard like a stubborn mule. I was an F&M general, but I knew he would lose. I knew we would lose. His cabinet had no spine and deserves to be home with him. Dwayne can't lead. He never stood up to Minnis. So yes, the PLP back in there. But make no mistake, it was Minnis that imploded this party. He needs to resign and go to sleep. We don't want him anymore. Trust me. We spoke to a lot of supporters. We felt the same way. All right. We'll take another call and then we'll go. Good afternoon. Welcome to the revolution.
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah. I want to congratulate the PLP, on the victory, but it's strange how the persons who were undecided, it looked like they decided not to come out. But I think Mr. Davis has a quality that the four other prime ministers who came before him, they don't have. He doesn't seem to get as easily ticked off as they do. I think it'll be a good quality to have as he goes into the stand ahead of him.
I got you. Thanks, my brother. I'm gonna read one last text message, then we got to get out of here. And listen, I expect it. I expect that you guys are gonna get mad at me because you can't form arguments on your own. You cannot defend that which is blatantly wrong. And I get that you're going to throw a lot of that my way to try to distract and get the focus off of where it should be. Because last I checked, I didn't get a dime of your tax money. I didn't get a single vote because I never offered for any office, and I hold no public office. So you can talk about me all you want, but it's not going to change the reality. It says, Juan, first of all, congratulations to Mr. Davis on his win. I wish him all the best in his new role as Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, as if he succeeds, we all succeed. Congratulations also to Mr. Cartwright for holding on to St. Barnabas. He beat out my former MP and friend, Mr. Alcides. But Juan, it shows if you're a good MP, no matter if it's a tidal wave, the people know good representation and will support you. Others should take note. Just because you have a cabinet position doesn't mean you can't focus and help your constituency. It's a new day, Juan, and the old way of doing politics in the Bahamas is finished. No more obnoxious remarks, no more snide comments, no more disrespect. The public has sent the FNM a resounding message. Go to your convention and fix it and come back anew. Juan, if I were to give Brave some advice each quarter on a Wednesday on your show, or Dwight's show, take an hour and come in and update the public for the first 30 minutes in the state of things and then answer questions that the audience has sent to you from that Monday or Tuesday. People like to know what the state of the economy is and how the country's doing. We will also be following the plan that the PLP's outlined, and we will be checking off what was promised and what was completed. Juan, we all know 5 years is not enough time to govern, and this constant back and forth is leaving us in stagnant water. I just hope for our Bahamaland, the PLP is up to the task and will put forth the effort necessary to propel us to greater heights. Finally, Juan, please, PLP, fix the camera and mic system in the House of Assembly. It's a disgrace to hear and see the quality in audio and video coming out of that chamber. All right, good. We're going to leave it on that note. So see you again today in 5 years, bro, when we flip the pancake over again. And we the people never get enough to eat. We have to stop being fans of these guys. This will never change. I'll be real with you. I'm praying the Lord blesses me with multiple streams of passive income, and I don't have to come on the air and do all this. I enjoy it, but it can be a bit taxing at times. But it's a new day. As long as I'm here, I'm going to keep it real with you and bring you the facts. All right? You guys take care out there. Have a great weekend. And stay safe, Bahamas.
Revolution with Juan McCartney is sponsored by J.S. Johnson, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, White Cares Fashion Center, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, Helena Financial Advisors Limited, and Wendy's.